Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Grimworks Comic Corner. It's just Universal Comics. We look at everything, news, floppies that we read. We try to send you back on the trade back that we think you guys should read. We're going to just get right to it. If you guys are anime fans like I am, they made Batman anime style called Batman Ninja, which is funny because they look like samurais to me.
Yeah.
But they gave Joker Samurai and I think it's like a Ronin Ninja Harley Quinn.
It looks like it.
Yeah, the trailer's really good. IGN, YouTube, actually everywhere. Kind of exploded. I know it's coming next year.
Yeah.
So if you guys like anime, you guys like Batman, it's gonna be fantastic.
Well, the one thing that
looks good.
I was unsure of, what is it, an anime series or is it just a movie?
I think it's just an anime movie.
Yeah, because that would fit in line with what they do most of the time. They do like animated movies, and they're the best at it.
DC has like the best animated stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like they may not have the best like movies, like live action movies.
DCU stuff.
Yeah,
but their animated stuff.
But the animated stuff has always been on point.
And you know what? I always bitch at Batman. I always say Batman this and that. You know. All the animated films they've done with him are really good in-depth characters of Batman. Like the one with the Red Hood, the one with the son, who's really good stuff. So, I mean, Marvel's anime is, you could tell it's supposed to be family friendly.
Yeah.
While DC kind of just like, we're going to give you a story.
Yeah.
Well, we could cross the line a little bit.
What Marvel does a lot of the times is Marvel keeps it PG. Like, everything is PG. Like, it's supposed to be for kids. And DC is like...
Let's just cross line. There's still good stories.
Yes, they're still great stories, but they're not necessarily aimed at kids. Sort of like the animated series was in the 90s. It was aimed for kids, but there was something that a grown-up could find in it. So.
Yeah, I think the animated movie comes out sometime 2008.
Yeah, they didn't really give a date. They just said coming 2018.
Yeah, because it's all subtitled and stuff, but it looks really good. If you guys haven't got a chance, go check out the trailer.
I wonder if they're gonna have like a sub and dub version.
That'd be pretty good.
That'd be really cool if they have.
Calling back as the Batman. Oh, who would they use for the Joker? I hope like Mark Hamill, but I think he said he was done with it.
But I want to hear fucking Javin. I want to hear that shit. I didn't say anything. That's gibberish, but I inflected.
But yeah. We have a little bit of other news. Roman's going to get to the real good stuff.
Yeah, CBR reports that DC Comics launches new cover design to replace Rebirth banner. So if you know the current DC Comics that we've seen in the past, they have the DC Rebirth logo up top. They're kind of getting rid of that altogether, and they're going back to like the classic... logo boxes, like the little shadow boxes.
The little corner from the one that had that 25 cents.
Yeah, but it has the DC icon, and then depending on what type of book it is, it may have like the Batman symbol. It may have a Superman S. It might have a green arrow, like an arrow.
Just a symbol.
Yeah, exactly. And some interesting ones that they showed were, there is one that says, it doesn't say anything except it has the number 2, which for Earth 2, and I'm hoping, because I'm a big sucker for Earth 2. Big sucker for...
Think the GSA might come back?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, they've already confirmed that they're doing something with the JSA, the Justice Society of America. So I'm hoping that this is kind of getting into it. But apparently this is all coming out of Metal with their new age of heroes or whatever they're calling it.
I think Metal's going to kind of destroy the universe a little bit, and they're going to rebuild it, and it's like, everybody's everybody now.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So go ahead and check it out. They have a little slideshow of things like that. So this is going to start... next year, pretty much.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, this year's almost over.
Yeah, pretty much. So they're going to do it afterwards. But in bigger news, this again from CBR. World War II Hulk. World War Hulk 2. Marvel teases final fate of Amadeus Cho. So there is some spoiler warnings. Amadeus Cho will not survive this current Planet Hulk adventure.
Yeah, because if you guys are not reading the floppies, I know we came last. I don't know how we did not cover it last week.
We didn't, but I think it was last month.
Yeah, it was.
Because I remember reading it, and it was at least an honorable mention.
Yeah, it was Michelle returned to
Planet Hulk.
Yeah, Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Or Scar, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Planet Scar, I guess you could say.
And he found out that Hulk can't all be all brains. They need some brute behind it, so you get through the gladiator phase and stuff like that. So I guess he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, so it's...
Does that mean they're gonna bring back Bruce Banner?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. Is apparently this is in March, so that like World War II is, or the World War II, the World War Hulk 2 is gonna happen after this Incredible Hulk storyline, which runs until March.
Yeah,
you know, it's 5 issues basically.
Yeah, it's almost over. Yeah.
And then it's going to lead into that. So whether or not that's actually gonna be like its own little thing, or if it's gonna be like a story, like a universe story, I'm not too sure.
Last time it was its own little thing.
Well, no, last time it was like a whole Marvel event because they had like
the World War Hulk stuff.
Because they had like the Frontline. If you don't know what Frontline is, it was like a newspaper. It was like the first time they really had done that. It's the whole thing is read like a newspaper in terms of like the breaking stories, and they'll show you through panels, kind of things like that. So it's actually a really cool idea. They used it a bunch.
But they didn't cross over, did it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it had a few crossovers. Yeah. Very few, but I remember. I think
I know. I have the collection of the singles, which is just Hulk stuff.
Yeah, it's just the regular thing. But I think that was its own miniseries, and then Incredible Hulk at the time had tie-ins as well. And then I think it ran through. I want to say New Avengers, but I'm going to have to double check on that. But
so, I hope they don't just they do that thing where they did with Wolverine. They cut off Hulk and he's gone for just a bit. Because he's a really big character. Yeah. So I wonder what they're going to do with him.
Well, apparently it is Incredible Hulk 714, World War Hulk 2, Part 1. And it'll be written by Greg Pak, of course. And then the art will be by Carlo Barberi. So classic kind of Marvel artist. And the cover looks pretty cool.
It's a throwback to the original covers. Yeah, so
he's smashing Earth in half, basically, but it looks really cool. Not gonna get too much into that. We already spoiled that he's basically not gonna live. I mean, they
already spoiled that. It's like, I'm not sure, but I don't want Cho to keep going being. I don't think he made a good Hulk.
I mean, I'm really not feeling a lot of what Marvel's doing recently, and Hulk is probably on the top of that list.
Bruce Banner was a tortured person that he didn't want the Hulk, and Cho was just like, yeah, I want him because I'm smart enough to control him.
Exactly. It's just it's just the arrogance.
That was very brash, yeah.
But yeah, that's all for news. It's not a bunch of news. Of course, we're winding down to the end of the year. They're gonna save a lot of stuff for the beginning of the year, like every other kind of media. So it's not going to be a ton of news in these few new,
unless it's like something episodes. Like big and breaking.
Yeah, unless it's something like, holy shit, like they actually announced this. Which, apparently December is also Brian Michael Bendis' last month at Marvel. So
do you have like a little good run of something?
I mean, he only has 1 month, so he's wrapping up his, Invincible Iron Man, Infamous Iron Man. He's wrapping up Spider-Man. With Miles.
How cool would it be if he give him like a one-shot say goodbye to Marvel?
It would be really cool.
I would like it. I like his writing.
I mean, he's been there for what, almost 20 years?
Yeah, so that'd be like a sign of respect. Like, here, one shot, do whatever you want with any character. Yeah. Just a way of saying goodbye to your fans.
It blows up the entire universe.
Oh, that'd be like the start of... That'd be pretty cool, right? Yeah. Start 2008 is like... And this kind of, so what happens, you give all that freedom to writers. You kind of have to remake everything. But that'd be pretty good. I want to see what he does with DC. I want to see what he's going to write for DC.
Yeah.
Like what characters he's going to use. So
I mean, he's always teasing. Like, he's been, like, boning up on his DC history. So he's been reading a whole bunch of it. Signs are sort of going towards Superman. Because he had a big stack of graphic novels. And apparently Superman made up a majority of that, probably like 60%. So he might do something with Superman. I'm hoping for Challengers of the Unknown because he loved that comic back in the day. And I think he had some ideas that he wants to do now.
I want him to be the reason Shazam comes back.
Possible. I mean,
I haven't seen Shazam.
He is one of the guys that you would trust with that because he can write the kid character as well as actual Shazam. So, you know what I mean?
I'm hoping. I mean, with the movie coming out, you kind of want to get some hype behind the character. So, and he's been missing lately. So
we'll see.
I hope he does. It's gonna be a weird week for comics today. Yeah. It was the 5th week for the floppies, so they're usually a whole bunch of annuals. Yeah. And a one or two one shots. I mean, not one shots. First issues. So we're gonna get just straight to it. We're gonna do some honorable mentions.
Yeah, well, it's honorable mention. We only have one. It's Street Fighter Reloaded #1, written by Kensu Chong and drawn by Arnold Sang, Alvin Lee, and Andrew Hu.
Alright, this is just what it is, a Street Fighter comic. And it's honorable mention because, oh man, the art never fails.
The art is really
you guys
good.
can see the covers. Look at this. It's just some great covers. Udon is just kicking ass with the art.
Yeah.
The story, it's just, if you guys have read the Street Fighter story, it's just that.
I mean, it's kind of in a weird place because it takes place somehow. If you don't know like Street Fighter lore, the big thing is Ryu and Ken. Ryu and Ken are like the big two of Street Fighter. So the person that they're taught by is Goken. He has been killed, and they're just gonna go on an adventure to try to find out who his murderer is.
Yeah, like if you guys follow the games, it's after 4, but before 3.
That's the thing, yeah.
I know they cross jump a little bit.
Yeah, because Street Fighter, the actual original Street Fighter, was a terrible game, and really nothing came out of it except for Ryu. So Chu was the only. Chu started a story. So it went. If you actually go through the actual games, it's supposed to be Street Fighter Alpha 1 through 3, then Street Fighter 2,
and Turbo,
then Turbo,
and
then it's supposed to be 4.
Then it's supposed to go back to Third Strike.
Then it's supposed to go back to Third Strike. Then it goes to number 5.
Yeah, when they're
so it's really convoluted. But this actually starts off at a decent place. So it's
Ryu Ken.
It's an okay read. It's not great. But
it's good if you like the game and the characters.
Yes.
But if you don't know who any of these Street Fighter characters are, at least you get beautiful art.
Yeah, you can go ahead and pass unless you like the actual characters. So that is it for our honorable mentions. We're going on to our reviews now. First up, we have Mystic U, and this is book 1. This is written by Elisa Quitney and drawn by Mike Norton.
This is actually was pretty interesting. It was weird because I was reading, it was like, oh man, it has a little bit of everything. But I hate time travel or like alternative whatever. It's magic. That's the best.
Well, here's the thing: is it starts off, of course, like every comic that has time travel, it starts with a cataclysmic end, and then going back in time to try to reverse it. But But nobody ever, like, here's the thing, it went back so far that Zatanna's like a teenager, and she's learning how to use her powers in the Mystic University.
Yeah,
here's my biggest
goes
problem.
Back so back that she didn't know she had magic.
Here's the weird thing is, because in the origin for Zatanna is that she has her dad Zatara. Zatara, basically once she's born, has to leave because if he sticks around, they will find him and kill her. So out of like love for his daughter, he goes away and he never sees her. That was Zatanna. Now, apparently, when they rewrote the time stream, she is a teenager-ish.
She's his assistant.
She is her dad's assistant, and then they sent her to Mystic University. Now,
the dad kind of disappears too. I'm not gonna spoil how, but he kind of.
It's weird. But it is a quirky book, so if you like kind of teenage angst, you'll probably like it because
it's kind of weird because there's a big bad, and it seems like everybody knows that this big bad's coming, but they don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So they're playing like roulette with all the characters in the university to see who end up being the big bad, and you have like the teachers and the headmaster. They're all like powerful wizards or sorcerers or whatever they call it in DC. It's good. If you like magic, it's good. The time jump is a little weird.
It is, but it's at least interesting enough to warrant, a second issue, and I'm down. So let's go on to our next one. This is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 30, written by Rob Venditti and drawn by Jack Herbert.
This looks like it was the start of art, right?
Yes, it is a start.
It's like one shot, but it's the start of something.
No, it's a start of a completely new art called Twilight. Twilight of the Guardians. Okay. So, if you know anything about the Guardians of Oa, they're a target now, and
I've always been a target.
It's revealed who is behind these attacks. The cool thing is that the ending sets up in such a way that we don't necessarily know if the Guardians are going to die like altogether or if something else is going to befall them. So with the actual
you don't know
villain,
if they're going to die or they're going to be used for some kind of evil.
Yeah, and the villains are kind of a hard thing to explain. They're
without spoiling it, yeah.
Without spoiling it, they're closely related to Guardians if you know DC history. So
if you know Lanterns, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I love
Lanterns. The most will tell you they're back. Without spoiling, is like, who's back? You gotta read the comic. And I said it reads like a one shot because the main focus is on the girl on the cover.
Yes.
The rings got they took
Marley, I believe her name is.
Yeah, the rings took off one of the restrictions of age. Mm-hmm. She's a young little kid.
Yeah,
because it said that Hope runs big in the young.
Yeah, she's a teenager. Yeah. We're assuming somewhere around like 16 in terms of age.
And then you kind of get little bits and pieces of everybody in the Corps. Mm-hmm. So to me, it read like a one shot until the ending.
Yeah.
In the end, like the back of the story was like, oh,
well,
okay.
The thing that really sets up and things that I like that they do is they touch up on Hal Jordan's relationship, with Carol Ferris, and how that's kind of mimicked in a way between Kyle Reiner and Sarnak Natu, or I forget what her name is, but Sinestro's daughter, basically. It's interesting. I just want to see where it goes. I'm a big Green Lantern fan, so
yeah. I mean, it looks like a big event's coming to the Lanterns again. And it seems to be interesting because it's a lot of the past stuff mixed with we're here in the future now. Because there's one scene that I like, and it's Jon Stewart talking to Guardians like, I don't really trust you.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so is that lack of trust gonna send them to go help the Guardians to their fullness?
Yeah, I mean, if you know Lanterns, Ganteth, and Syad are going to be something to reckon. But that's pretty much all for our regular reviews. We're going to go into our picks of the week. Mine is first up, and mine is Batman Annual number 2, written by Tom King and drawn by Lee Weeks and Michael Lark, who's a really cool artist.
Before you get into your why you pick of the week, I almost did not pick this up.
Okay.
If it wasn't for one of the employees inside the comic shop that knows that we have this show, he's like, dude, you gotta pick this up. It's like, I don't know, I don't really like annuals. He's like, no, pick this up. He's like, I don't want. He's like, dude, just take it. I was like, alright, I'll go pay for it.
The reason it's my pick of the week is because I can't give away the twist to it.
What a twist.
Because that twist determines the ending. It's not the Batman that we usually know, and it is... Fuck. Should I just spoil it? Because I really can't talk about it unless I do so.
Alright, we're going to give you this. We're going to give you a 3, 2, 1, and we're going to spoil it. He's going to go crazy on it.
I'm going to go crazy on it.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Spoilers. Alright. So the whole thing with this is it's Batman and Catwoman, and we know that in our current continuity they're going to get married.
Yep.
Now, if you didn't know anything about multiple universes, in Earth 2 there was a Batman there. He marries Susan Kyle. He has a kid who is Helena Wayne, and she becomes Huntress.
In our world.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is that started off as an Earth 2 thing. She didn't get rolled into our world until
New 52?
No, until the Crisis, the 80s Crisis.
Oh, okay.
Because this was already an established storyline, but with everything that goes on, Crisis, Uncrisis, Crisis again.
I'm confusing it with the anime when she crossed over with Power Girl, or
that was the New 52.
Yeah, where there's Supergirl, and then she came over. She's like, there is a Supergirl already. Yeah. I'm gonna become Power Girl.
Pretty much
like,
the same
there's
thing.
Already a Batgirl. I'm just gonna become the Huntress.
That's pretty much the same thing. But in this one, it's a love story. It's how someone can. It's about tearing down those emotional walls and letting someone in. And Batman has the biggest emotional walls, but then it explains why Selena Kyle is such a perfect fit for him, why they're kind of meant to be. And in this one, it takes place on Earth 2, and the ending is very, very, very sweet because there is a note involved, and there is one thing that he says to her that he never really said to her while they were dating, things like that. So it's a really touching story, to be honest with you. It's one of Tom King's best, kind of thing, because I'm not a super huge fan of Tom King, but he is writing Mr. Miracle and kicking ass on that. So I mean, he's proven it. He's just kind of hit or miss with me on Batman, and this was definitely a big hit for me.
It's a love story.
Yeah,
the cat and the bat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's good. It's good. I'm just saying it's like that. It's like it is good. It's good. Cause
you're gonna see his pick of the week. You're gonna see a completely different thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, this is really in depth.
Mm-hmm.
It is wordy.
Yes.
And you have to like Batman to like this story.
I say you don't have to necessarily like Batman. You have to. No, you have to have an open mind towards like a romance novel, because it's basically what it is. Yeah. You can take out Batman. You can take out like the Batman universe out of this and put in
any characters. You would work with any characters.
You can put in me and like
the whole unspoken things that he and the note and stuff and the whole I have walls. That is Batman.
That is Batman.
I mean, you can tell it's written for Batman fans, because they understand.
Oh, of course.
They understand the Bruce Wayne stuff.
Of course, but you can totally take out the Batman part of the equation.
Oh, yeah, and it becomes
and it's a kid.
It's a his and her kind of stuff.
It's a his and her story where they figure out like, we didn't have parents, but we still found love somehow.
Yeah, it turns out that just because you have a shitty situation in life doesn't mean you have to live in a shitty way.
Yeah, just because you've had a rough life doesn't mean that you can't find love somewhere.
There you go. Better said.
So it's a love story. So if you like Batman, it's a plus. But if you like the kind of open-minded towards like romance novels, go ahead and give it a try.
This is kind of a comedy you and your girl could read. She'd be like, "Oh man, that's cool."
And be like, "I'm Batman, you're Catwoman." There you go. We're gonna have a kid, and she's gonna kill people. I
kind of wish my pick of the week was first, because after all that explanation and after knowing all the history you just stood through, like you have the Earth 2 history, and you have this touching feeling. We explain that even because of the deep of the character, you can say, "All right, guys."
But here it is. This is perfectly going to show our personalities in terms of just who we are and like the dichotomy that we have.
I kind of feel ashamed.
So Tony's pick of the week is John Wick #1. It's written by Greg Peck, who's writing Incredible Hulk, as we said before, and drawn by Giovanni Valetti.
Alright.
So go ahead. I ain't gonna shit on you.
I'm gonna try to make it as depth as it is. But there's you know what? There is no going depth to this. If you guys seen the John Wick movies, you know how the book's gonna read. It's a shoot 'em up. It's full of action, guns, and everything. Again, if you're a fan of the movies, kind of during the whole movies, you're like, oh, he's done things. He's seen things and shit like that. It looks like the comics is gonna get you filled in on what he did and who he is to become what he was in the movies. And it starts. It's another thing I like about this is because it's based in Texas.
Yeah,
I was
they mentioned El Paso like pretty.
Yeah, well, it's in El Paso. It's just him and his like background origin story of like the people who mistreated him and stuff and why he's coming back. That's all it is. There's nothing more than that. It's just a shoot 'em up action comic. It's like you're watching the movies, like watching the prequel to the movies. That's how it reads.
And here's the thing, like it John Wick as a movie is very simple. He's out of retirement. He's a retired hitman. He comes back because they basically fuck with him and kill his dog. And he's just like, you know what? I'm not going to have people fucking with me. I'm going to go kill these motherfuckers. And that's it. That's the whole point of the story.
It was more...
and this maybe gives him... I'll give it credit where it actually fleshes him out as a character.
Yeah, that you're trying to give... Like, they're trying to fill up those gaps that people have.
Exactly.
because before the third movie comes out, because there is going to be a third movie, and it's supposed to be chaotic, and you're supposed to get a lot of backstory. So this is going to fill up a lot of holes.
Yeah.
This is just like I said, but don't come in there and be like, oh man, they show everything about him. No, it's what it is. It's an action movie. The background of it is short, like a page.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, this is how it says up. Bam.
You can condense the actual like reading of this, like bubbles. You can put it into 2 pages, and that's the reading of this thing.
That's why I like it.
And yeah, that's fine.
Plus, I like the character. I like the character. I like the movies. And it was like one of those things that I had a hard week, and I was like, these were a chore to read. The Batman and the Mystic You were a chore to read to come and tell you guys how good they are. I mean, they are good, but you don't want to think something you're reading is a chore. This one, I was like just flying through the pages, like, okay, this is really good. At the end of it, and you're like, man, I can't go either. I don't want to go watch the movie. I can't wait for part 3.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, Keanu Reeves is a badass no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. This was just fun for me. Exactly. It was fun, and that's the reason. That's the main reason it's the pick of the week. Because I could just go tell someone, yeah, you like guns, killing, read this.
Exactly.
It's Hitman story.
And you don't always need like me. I do like a big story, but every once in a while you gotta turn off your brain and just
you don't have
something.
To give backstory and explanation.
Yeah,
history.
you don't have to do any of that. You can literally just read this comic for what it is. It's a bang bang shoot 'em up.
Yeah, you could just pick it up and not. You can pick it up and not see the movies and understand the character because they like, okay.
And that's all it is. So I'm not shitting on it.
No. I know.
He's had worse work. We've done this for 25 episodes. He's had some bad picks a week, and I turned it apart. This one.
It's just a comparison. The conversation that we have. The Batman one, it's a whole conversation that could keep going as long as we know the characters.
Yeah.
This one is like a sentence.
Yeah.
This is just like, okay, you this is the stuff you like. You can't really have a conversation unless you like the character and the movies as well. Because then you start picking at the characters are in it. You're like, oh, why would he be in this comic? And then it was like, okay, that's how the conversation with those. With this one, like you said, you take out the characters and you still have something to conversate about.
Yeah.
This one, not really.
It's really straightforward.
That's the only difference. It is what it is. It's a straight book. This one his pick of the week has more depth to it. It doesn't matter who is in the cover or whose story is in it. People could conversate. People could critique the book for other things than just being a Batman book.
Yeah.
And that's just the difference that we pick because I don't like reading that much.
I love reading, so I can read all these comics. There was other comics that we had, but we just deemed them not interesting.
Oh yeah, there like I said, it was a weird week for comics. So I picked up a lot of indies, trying to give them, a chance.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, they weren't up to snuff.
I did pick up the Spawn because I was so psyched for the Spawn. The art was so bad that the story could not carry it, and that's the reason we didn't cover it. Because I was so excited, I was like, yeah, you have to go get it. It was one of those. You go straight forward, make sure you have it, because they promise you a new hero and stuff like that. And you read it, it's just lackluster, and then the art looks messy. So I mean, we do pick up a lot of comics, but like I said, we try to bring you the best stuff for you to enjoy. But talk about reading stuff.
Speaking about best stuff, all right, we're done with this week's floppies.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. So we're gonna go on to possibly one of my favorite graphic novels of all time, like comic, like limited series type of thing.
Oh, like yeah. Okay.
It's Blackest Night, people. You see it right here. You see it right here. It's Golden Glory. It is written by Jeff Johns and drawn by Ivan Reis. Now, I just want to let you know, this was a long time coming. If you read Jeff Johns' stuff, he pretty much hinted at this from, I think since Rebirth. I think they dropped a hint of Blackest Night in Green Lantern Rebirth.
Well, you had like bits and pieces of it back in the Sinestro Wars.
Well, that's where it started becoming really prevalent. That's when they like shot like, yeah, this is happening, because at the end of the Sinestro Corps War, they actually have like a full page ad of like, you've seen Rebirth, you've had a Sinestro War, but now comes the Blackest Night, and then it was just a fist, like a rotting fist coming out of a grave.
And then with the ring on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't understand what the ring was.
You didn't understand. You're like, what the hell is this? You don't know. But then it started coming through all this kind of stuff. It literally kind of came out of Final Crisis, because there was a Final Crisis one-shot called Rage of the Red Lanterns that introduced the Red Lanterns, and right after that it was Preludes.
Atrocitus.
Yeah, and it was Preludes into the Blackest Night. So Blackest Night.
That's the one they gave you for each color, right? When they introduce Atrocitus, they introduce each.
No, he was sort of the kickoff because at this time, before they introduced Atrocitus in the Red Lanterns, they actually introduced him in a story called Secret Origins. And in Secret Origins, you find out that Atrocitus is who mortally wounds Abensur, and that's how he crash lands on Earth. That's how Hal Jordan gets his thing. And then Hal Jordan and Sinestro, while he's a Green Lantern, they go off and try to find Sinestro. Sinestro wants to kill him because, of course, Abensur is not only his best friend, but his brother-in-law. Giving you a lot of backstory. But with the Preludes came the Blue Lanterns and the Orange Lanterns, the Violets.
It's just everything. So, all the colors of the spectrum.
And then, with Blackest Night hit, they were just like, you know what? We have this Green Lantern. There's going to be a one-shot. There's going to be directly leading into Black Lantern. And that one, holy shit. Fucking Black Hand.
That was issue 0, right? It was like a free comic book day comic, too?
They had an issue 0. I think I have that one. I got to double check. But in issue 0, they kind of recapped what happened in a Green Lantern. I think it was Green Lantern 43 or something like that. It's where Black Hand basically becomes the conduit for all Black Lanterns, and that leads into Blackest Night. Now, the whole thing with this is it starts off kind of innocently. Barry is trying to figure out, like, who has been gone all this time. Like, I've been gone for 20 years, so who's died in my absence? And they show him, the Green Lanterns show him, and he's like, fuck, this is crazy. What starts happening is...
that when they're walking through the...
They're walking through a hall.
They're walking through the museum hall. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what starts happening is there is this buzzing that keeps happening. You're like, what the fuck is going on? They start penetrating graves, and they start taking over bodies. So basically, the Black Lantern rings start reanimating these corpses, but they're not really reanimating those corpses. They're just using the corpses, and the ring is everything. And eventually it becomes this big war where, and it's always, it had been this prophecy, you know, when the Blackest Night comes, all 7 colors must unite, and then it just turns into an all-out brawl. There's some heartfelt stuff, but one of the really cool pages, and I know I'm just fucking nerding out. One of the coolest pages is they have pretty much the leaders for each one of the lanterns for the different color lantern corps, and they all say their oath. So from red all the way to orange or to violet, they pretty much have everybody except for orange because he's greedy and Larfleeze doesn't know anything. Yeah. But there's really cool splash pages in this. There's Necron, who you later find out is the big bad behind this. He's basically the guardian of death. And there's some stuff with Batman and why he's dead during all this. And
that's right. This is after the Omega Beam and stuff.
This is after Final Crisis. Yeah. So this is like immediately. This is a year after Final Crisis. I believe Final Crisis was 2006 going into 2007.
This is when there was Dick Grayson's Batman, right? Yeah.
Well, yes. That's when he was there and Bruce Wayne was dead. There's some really cool stuff with that. Sinestro has some really big parts, and I don't want to give the ending away just because I think you should read it, but it is awesome. I love the story.
Yeah. Plus, that gives them a chance to bring back characters that people thought the room wouldn't come back. It's like, how do you bring them back from the dead?
Yeah.
So you can explain stuff like Superman and stuff like the big ones, right?
Yeah.
But these second or third characters that people like, but they're gone, is a perfect way to bring them back. And so it is. It's just it's like Marvel's zombies, but with depth and character.
Yes.
That's what it is. And you have them. They look so amazing. Like all the heroes that died, they're all zombied out or skeleton. And the best thing, oh man, there was I remember is the Zatanna and how they lose the baby.
Yeah.
And the baby, and it's like, damn, they went that far.
Oh yeah, there's some cool stuff, and this is just the main story. There's tons of other books. There's ones that are it's just the Green Lantern or the Green Lantern Corps. There's some that are Tales of the Black Lantern Corps. There's a lot of different graphic novels. I suggest you start here so you get the whole story and then move on.
I can't remember if this one is the one with the Atom too, when he's on the phone.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That is like the first issue.
The lantern stuff is all him. I like the little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stuff that happens to the Atom, the stuff that happens to Zatanna.
Yeah.
The way that everybody questions death and they don't... You go like, oh, we're heroes. It doesn't really affect us. Mm-hmm. It affects you when you're talking to them again. Mm-hmm. And they have their memories and they have everything. And they're asking, why'd you let us like die and stuff like that? And I was like, cool, because the only other thing I've seen like that is when Jason Todd came back and he was fighting Batman. He's like, why would you do it? Yeah. And then the most important is, why didn't you do anything to avenge me? Yeah. And he's like, you had your chance, yet you let a monster go and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So you have those kind of conversations during the whole book when these heroes come back and they're with their counterparts or they're with their groups and they're like, why didn't you do anything or why did you let this happen? It's really good. Of course, the Lantern stuff is good, and then you have the dark Guardian, which is pretty cool in her book. Yeah.
Oh, Liza Drake, I believe, or Liza Drack, who is was part of the Sinestro Corps, but then you have the Guardian that actually started all this. I don't remember the Guardian's name.
It's the girl, right? Was it the girl?
Because there's two. Because there's there's a Guardian that she throws up the Black Lanterns. And then there's the one that actually has the Book of the Dead, and that's Liza Drack.
That's the one that goes with the missing eye.
No, that's the other one. That's the Guardian. Okay. That's the Guardian.
It's good, guys. It has a little bit of everything.
Yes,
it has a little bit of everything. There's a dark feel to it. You're gonna like it. You're just gonna like. I suggest we do it, but don't take our word for it. Read it.
Yes.
And you know what you should do. You should tell us in the comments what you're reading or what trade backs we should pick up. Yeah. All right, you can just go on YouTube, if you want to subscribe, hit the little ringer just so no one knows that you guys are watching and listening. Yes. Or no, you could just join us on our social media. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, and just search Ringworks and you could just drop a comment there and be like, comics. I mean, we could pretty get it. Once we start saying Batman is good and Batman, we get where it's coming from. Yes. But... if you don't like none of that, Roman always has another way to get in contact with us.
Yeah, if you don't have YouTube, which you should at least have.
Everybody watches YouTube.
Exactly. You should have a little sign in so you can subscribe to us. You know what I mean? Help us out. But if you don't have that for some reason and you still watch the show, you want to get in contact with us, even about past shows, go ahead and email us at citypod88@gmail.com. And go ahead and in the title just put comics. That should be good.
All right, but what we're going to do right now, we're going to tell you the list of tomorrow's comics. What he does is give you the list of the big two. It's Marvel and DC. And then what he does is he cuts down all the indies because there's so many indies. And he gives you a short, small list of the stuff that's either popular or you should read. Yes. Go ahead, Go ahead, Roman. Give him the Marvels.
All right. So for Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, Inc., or it's actually Amazing Spider-Man / Venom. Venom Incorporated Alpha #1. God damn, that's a long title.
So they combine Venom and Spider-Man again?
Yeah, well, it's a little mini-series thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be, I think it's 6 issues, I think this stuff. But Astonishing X-Men #6, Avengers 674, Black Bolt #8, Captain America 696, Darth Vader #9, Doctor Strange 382, Guardians of the Galaxy 148, Gwenpool #23, Hawkeye #13, Iceman #8, Inhumans Once Future Kings #5, Iron Fist 75, Spider-Man 275, Spirits of Vengeance #3, True Believers Enter the Phoenix, True Believers Phoenix featuring Cyclops and Marvel Girl, and X-Men Gold #17.
So, one or two titles in there that we probably pick up and review.
Yeah, every once in a while we'll pick up some stuff. But getting on to DC, we have Bane Conquest #8, Batman #36, Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 #1, Batman White Knight #3. I know we've been having some love on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Black Lantern, Cold Dead Hands number 2, Bombshells United number 7, Cyborg number 19, Dastardly and Mutterly number 4, DC Universe Holiday Special 2017 number 1.
Is that a Christmas comic?
It is, yeah. It's basically like it's about the size of an annual, and it's just a bunch of short stories like around Christmas.
Like the Christmas stories with our superheroes?
It's not necessarily like the classic Christmas stories. They do that sometimes, but they're just gonna have Christmas type stories for some of these. So it is one of my favorite books. I always pick it up every year because I'm a sucker for Christmas. But Deadman number 2, Deathstroke number 26, Green Arrow number 35, Green Lanterns number 36, Hardy and Ivy Meet Betty and Veronica number 3. Injustice 2 number 15, Jetsons number 2, Justice League number 34, Nightwing number 34, and Superman 36 rounded it out.
Cool. Now you gonna give them the indie list?
Alright, before I give you this I'm gonna take a little sip of water.
Oh, that was a lot of titles for DC.
It was. So, for your indies, you're gonna have Amory Wars Good Apollo number 9, Archie number 26, Black Cloud number 6, The Fix number 10, Gravediggers Union number 2, Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast number 2, Claus and the Christ of Xmasville number 1. I'm sorry, probably Christmasville number 1. That is a Grant Morrison comic, so I'm probably just gonna pick it up.
Grant Morrison wrote Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's like
I wonder if he's gonna make him like crazy and buff.
It's like a buff barbarian Santa Claus.
Oh, like the Guardians. What? You ever see the cartoon The Guardians?
Oh yeah.
You know
yeah,
how
like that.
He was like he was all tied up and stuff like that.
It's sort of like that too.
Oh, okay, then I'm interested in that.
All right, number 1 with a bullet number 2. Why is there so many numbers in these things? Paper Girls number 18, Paradiso number 1, Rasputin Voice of Dragon number 2, Shadow
Is that a Hellboy?
Yes. Looks like we missed number 1, so we'll probably get the back issue. But Shadow / Batman number 3, Sleepless number 1, Street Fighter Reloaded number 2, Street Fighter.
Quick already?
Yeah, I think they might have had this one in Canada. They're just releasing it.
Okay.
But Street Fighter Shadowloo Special, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 77, Violet Love number 10, and Walking Dead 174.
I know Walking Dead's getting close to its ending, so
yeah,
pretty sure those things are gonna be pretty good sells. All right, guys, that was a lot of comics.
That was.
But we're gonna try to bring them to you. We're gonna try to review them because we like what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, and I'm gonna make this right now. I'm a big Christmas fan. I'm probably gonna read those, but if they're not up to snuff, they're going out there. I'm not even wasting time, so don't even worry about that.
You know, you're right. Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming,
and you know everybody scrambles for presents and everything.
That's true.
And it's everybody now. I'm just saying, even because my grandma, she plays some video games on the phone. I told her, Grandma, I have a PS4. You can use it whenever you want. And she's like, I don't know, my hands are, but I go, hey man, Roman knows a good deal where you go get stuff.
And I told his grandma, look, alright, I don't care if you're old, you're going to use the internet. So you're going to go to fadegrips.store just like you should. Use our 20% discount code GRIMWORKS, that's capital GRIMMWORKS. Go ahead and put that in. I always suggest, my brother's a gamer. He's been hounding me about my Fade Grip, so I think I'm going to be nice this year. I'm going to get a little stocking stuff for $10. Go ahead and get the Pro/Glow mystery box. You get 4 pairs, 2 of each. The colors are always on point, so you're going to like them. $10, get 20% off, save a little bit on shipping. And hey, if you don't even like that, they have what we affectionately call controller condoms.
We do call it controller condoms.
That's just the name for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
What it is, it's a rubber cover for your controller.
Exactly.
So in case it falls or you have that sweaty hands, it won't slip out and stuff. Plus, it gives it a little bit of swag to your controller. But I mean, they have a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
they have some shirts. I know he's trying to get more products in. The store's kind of on its rebuild phase and trying to make it better and and stuff like that. And you could always help us and you could help them by going to fadegrips.store, tell them Grimworks send you and save yourself 20%. Make the gamer in your life a little bit happier.
Yes.
Because everybody likes swag. Everybody likes custom stuff.
I already have enough of these joystick grips. I'll take more people. So,
yeah, right? I mean, all the colors in the rainbow and stuff like that.
You get them for me, I'm going to use them. I don't care.
Right. But aside from that, we thank you for watching. And we will come back next week. Believe us. And until then, see you next time.
Later, dudes.